real time, I thank you for being with me this morning. And if you're watching it on the playback, that's cool too. You're going to probably be in a little weird position for a little bit because I'm in here cleaning up, about to make my morning coffee, that type of stuff. I just silk pressed my hair using my FHI heat. Which one did I use? It's one of the platforms. But then I came back, and because I forgot to wrap it last night, I put my baby bliss on it this morning. And so we got this little bone straight. I'm in here about to do dishes and all that. But before I do anything, child, the first thing I'm gonna do is make me some coffee. The very first thing I'm gonna do is make me some coffee, and we're gonna do a little chatting because it's holiday time, and so a lot of people be stressed and overwhelmed, and I'm just gonna talk on me. I'm not gonna talk on nobody else and catch y'all up because child's been on. So as you can see, I need to clean because Sydney came in here and did something this morning. She taking her medicine and things she touched, child, her little medicines are right here. So, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and pull out my coffee, make me a cup of community coffee. Actually, I'm going to have to use the, who is this against Starbucks? My French roast, because I'm out of my community coffee New Orleans blend. That is my absolute favorite coffee to drink. When I say favorite, I mean favorite. And yes, I'm from Louisiana, but guess what? New Orleans people, oh, it's a glare, I'm sorry. The city of New Orleans cook like the city of New Orleans. And Lake Charles, we mow country and, them little places like Lafayette, Eunice, Opelousas, places like that, we a bit more, that's where you're going to get your alligator and your turtle and deer and duck and rabbit and squirrel and all that good stuff. You go to New Orleans, you're going to get real commercial food. And that's facts. So we're going to do us a 10-ounce coffee on one of my signature brews. That's why I really like my Keurig, the Keurig Smart Supreme. The one thing about it, though, is like I can program it to use to make my coffee for me at the same time, the same thing. All these smart features on here that I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I used to use. Now, I don't know. It's just something about getting up, coming to the coffee machine and doing it myself. Even though I can do it from my phone. That's crazy. So I don't know. So that's what we about to do right there. And good morning to y'all. So let's start with like the holidays. Thanksgiving is next week. I feel like we just y'all so far down. My charger not really working, so I just have to kind of like put y'all down like this. Let me turn this off because I think that's the issue. So with Thanksgiving being pretty much, let's see, a week and a little bit of shmoney away. I don't want y'all to feel overwhelmed because let me tell you, as a person that is usually a people pleaser, and I have learned to say no and let my no be a no without the explanation behind it. This is typically the time of year, Thanksgiving and Christmas, when most, we don't talk about this, but it's the truth. A lot of black women, I'm going to start with us because I'm a woman. And don't get stressed. But I'm going to start with us. This is where we usually get into high stress issues, whether it's because you're the one hosting, entertaining, traveling with your family, y'all trying to figure out if you're going to his people's house or your people's house. Whatever the case, this is the time when everybody starts going crazy. Shit start getting spiked up. And I ain't never been a Black Friday shopper, but you start Black Friday sales and all these different things. It's just a lot because it's the holiday season. And just like everybody is pushing things for you to sell, pushing things in your face, family and friends can be the same way. You got relatives coming in from out of town. People pop up on you. People want to do something. You got to deal with people that you probably ain't dealt with. Deal with people that you do deal with on a daily. It just be a lot. So what I'm going to say to you is, wherever your home is, protect your peace, protect your home, protect your peace, protect your family. Make sure that whatever you're doing is healthy for you, one, because if you're not mentally healthy for yourself, it is no way in hell you can be pleasant and presentable and stuff to other people without feeling fake or outside self, right? So protect yourself first so that you can be at your best you. And then secondly, protect your family. Now, if you don't have a family yet and all of that, and it's still like mom, dad, and all of that is your intermediate family, that's fine too. Protect yourself so that you can, be able to deal with everybody. But if you are married, or if you're divorced, or if you're dating and you live in a family setting where it is you, a significant other, and your children, baby, don't be that mom, because I've done it before. All the dynamics in the family and be like, well, y'all, let's do this, blah, blah, blah. And then your kids uncomfortable because a lot of people don't have, like, I'm so serious. A lot of people really feel like you a child, stay in child place. You got no feelings too. No, your spouse or the person you date have feelings too, just like you have feelings too. So just try not to be so pushy for the holiday. Try to be open and receptive and soften your hearts, right? Soften your hearts. That way you can get, hey, good morning, Jay. Thank you so much, because I saw you the other night on Miss Queen D. I can't remember if it's like Miss Queen underscore D or if it's Miss Queen. I don't remember how she do her name, but thank you so much to all of y'all, not just you, all of y'all that actually go and support other channels that I, send to you and stuff like that. I know a lot of times, you have to really get to know a person and stuff like that before you can literally like click subscribe and things like that. But it just, the fact that I even have that type of influence on anybody to suggest and y'all go check them out and y'all are actually there supporting, I am forever grateful. So I don't know if she had saw your comment or she didn't see it, because I had kind of popped on the live and popped off, then popped back on, popped back off. But I just want to let you know, Jay, I am super appreciative, because not only do you support me, but you support me, and that's the same reason that I as well try and support you as well before we support other people. That's just me saying thank you. Where's my coffee? Because y'all know I get to talking, and I get to talking, and I get to talking. And the fact that I got to sit here and clean this morning, baby. I'm trying to multitask. I got to clean. I got to film, and I have to edit. So I'm kind of doing a lot, but I really need an order. Because, baby, if I don't get my kitchen in order today, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. I need to roll these sleeves up. Harper shredded my other Versace robe. I had it on the back of the closet door. And so, like, because it's the long one, it's not the short one that comes to the knees. It, like, comes to the ankles. And so it's the one that I got custom. My name that my grandfather used to call me, he would call me Beaudae. He's the only person that ever called me that, except for Butterscotch. He now calls me that because he knows that he called me that. Everybody just say either Beau Raven, they call me Raven, or they say Beau. And so I decided to put Beaudae on the back of that robe. Baby, tell me why from like half of the robe on the knee down, Harper shredded it. Trying to, you know how dogs are like scratch like this to make an area warm so they can lay down and chill and all of that? Yeah, baby, he scratched up my doggone robe. So I think it can be fixed. I was looking at it like, can I sew this and fix it, or do I just need to cut it and make it a short robe? Because I can cut it and make it a short robe, or just buy a whole nother robe. Because these are about, I think these robes are, y'all, not $550, then it's $750. It's one of the two. I can't remember. But I know I did buy two about 2 years ago, something like that. I don't know. I think it's about how long ago it was when I bought it. Then I got to think about what I'm going to cook for today. I'm just telling you, like, I'm not going to say it's not enough time in the day, because to me, when I feel like when a lot of that is because they're not organizing their day correctly. Now, this is my opinion. I ain't facts. I'm saying that's how I feel as a Virgo, because I'm a very organized person. I'm going to do a schedule and a routine on your ass in a minute. It's just what it is. Salute. Have to get my coffee right, baby. Let's see. Oh man. Yeah. Crazy thing is I used to use like the old school coffee pots and stuff, but let me tell you, my Keurig gets my coffee right every time. I don't ever get a cup of coffee and I feel like my coffee off, if that makes sense. Hush heart. So let me catch y'all up. This past week, I say last Friday, yeah. Not this Friday that just passed, Friday before that. So some of you may know if you watch my vlogs. Some of you may not know because you may be new to the channel. I would say I have two sets of parents, right? So I have my grandparents who raised me, and then I have my parents who were very much still in the mix. Like I could walk down the street and their house was right there. But my mom and I kind of had like I had it as a falling out. I just looked at it like I had to create a boundary and um not demand is the wrong word, but create a boundary so they understand to respect me as a grown woman and not still want to try to view me as, like a little 2 or 3 year old child. So we hadn't talked. Tony graduated. Tony is going to be a junior coming in the fall. So she's a second. She's a first semester sophomore. So it's been 2 years since I had really talked to my mom. Because I felt like I put it out there. We needed to have a conversation. And the time when I tried to have the conversation, she wasn't ready. So we never had the conversation. And then something kind of happened where like we all kind of had to get on the phone. It was kind of like, say like a family meeting between my sister, brother, myself, my mom. So that was the first time. And then the second time I talked to her, very, very briefly, and really I didn't talk that day. The second time that I had, we could kind of talk briefly. So let's just say it was about 3 very brief, I mean like, and when I say very brief, like under 2 to 3 minute type conversations, right? So we hadn't talked. My sister invited my mom to Houston to come out there and stay with her. And, well, not stay with her, but like, come out there with her. Baby, they got to not even arguing, but they just couldn't see eye to eye on, I guess, the dogs, like my mom's dogs, because her husband allergic to dogs. The dogs are outside, but it was just like a little situation with that. So I didn't know my mama was coming. Like, the crazy thing is, like, she had messaged on Facebook, and she was telling me, like, about the situation. And my ass, like, if it ain't got to do with me, y'all, I'm not going to be the one to be in it, like, ooh, this is going on. It didn't have shit with me. So I'm skimming through the conversation, like, okay, like, me and her really ain't talked, and I don't understand why she's telling me all of this, and blah, 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 blah. And so she didn't mention, like, could she come here? However, I thought I had responded and was like, nah, we ain't really talked or whatever. But, if words came to push and you needed to come here, I could try to make space for you. Because I'm one of the people, if somebody come to my house, child, I'm going to try to make you comfortable. I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to feel at home. I'm not that person when you come to my house, you can't touch this, you can't walk on this. I'm just not like that. Consider it the hell in me. Because being from deep South Louisiana, Lake Charles, baby, that's not how we was raised. You make people feel comfortable. Everybody feel welcome. You cook them something. You laugh, you talk. Like, you make people feel welcome when they come to visit. So, scurry along, we went to an event. Came back later that day. As soon as I pulled up, I come in the house. I asked Bay to go take something to the trash. Bay came back. I was like, I think your mom outside, but he's like, she's not in her Range Rover if that's her. And I'm like, at the same time, I'm checking my messages because she's like, I'm here. So, she was saying she was in Arlington. So I was like, what? Oh, she in Arlington? I was like, okay, she probably going to try to pass through here on her way out. No, child, no. Mm-mm. Child, she was here. She was here. And she at first she said she was just gonna stay the night and she was gone. She wound up being here a whole week. So I'm saying all that to say, although it was not a bad time with my mom being here, you have to find, I guess, the joy or the good things in situations. Now I'm not a person. I don't do people popping up in my house. Child, don't pop. I am not like I am the person that I would leave your at the door because don't be like she didn't let me in. No, I didn't invite you. Don't just invite yourself. And I'm like that with my friends. I'm like that with anybody. Cause I again being raised by my grandparents. I'm kind of like old people in that thing, baby. I was not raised where you go to everybody's house, spend the night at people's house, just pop up at people's house. I can have company, but I don't have no stories about spending the night at somebody's house. And the only house I would ever spend the night at was my mom's, and that would be on the weekends, and then I'd be back home to go to school during the week. Period. I'm not a pop-up girl, but I'm also not a girl that's gonna come to your house and sit in your house all damn day. That's just not me. I'm also not a girl that's gonna get on the phone and talk with you all day. I have my times where we get on the phone and we may like shoot the shit and talk, but I ain't about to be on the phone like, child, my phone ring a lot and I'll look at it like, oh, okay, I'll call him back or, I will text you, something like that. Hold on, what are y'all saying? Good morning, Antoinette. Good morning, everybody that's commenting. So basically, she stayed until this Friday, and then she left and she went back to Houston with my sister. So I needed, oh, that's hot. I needed the gulp of coffee because I got to get through the thing, child. So let's sit down. It's easy if we sit down because, child, I feel out. Harper and Augie, what are y'all doing? We gonna sit down. Ooh, child, we gonna sit down. Child. Oh, y'all looking at the neighbor. She walking her doggies. Oh, that's some paperwork I gotta do, y'all. Don't pay it no attention. Okay, it's better. That's better. Cause y'all know my Beaudaes, y'all my Beaudaes. Friend, aka cousin, aka Beaudae. If you haven't already, thumbs up this live stream. Because I don't never really ask those things. So if you could, just thumbs up it for me. Okay. So she left Friday. Went to my sister's house. We having like a little morning chit chat. We just talking. She went to my sister's house. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Hold on. Wait. Oh, I did not mean to delete your comment. That's not what I was trying to do. Okay, I think it's back. I was trying to add you as I was trying to add you, Antoinette. Okay. Anyways, all right. So I don't know what they got going on. I really don't, because my mama and my sister, Augie, I hear you. And they're licking himself to the gods, honey. My mom and my sister typically always get along, and I'm not saying they not getting along, but child, the dog situation is what's kind of putting them kind of like in a thingy. So my mama had reached out and was like, come back for Thanksgiving. Can she, well, actually she didn't ask could she come back. She was just like, well, I'll come back there if y'all don't go to Memphis because Butterscotch is from Memphis, child. And I was like, Mom, because this is my thing. We hadn't talked in a very long time. 2 years is a long time. And my whole thing was this, like, although you were here and we made it through, right? I still felt a way about the pop-up. I wasn't all the way. I'm not mad at my mama. Ain't really nothing that I'm trying to forgive her for, but I just wasn't fully comfortable in the situation. And my mom and I, we do good for short periods of time together. And I just feel like I don't know. I just don't want to be I just want to spend Thanksgiving with, like, to be honest, with my children. Two of them are in college. When they gonna come home, I kind of want to spend time with them. One of them is talking about bringing a bunch of friends if we didn't travel to Memphis. So it's looking like we're probably not gonna go to Memphis. So if that's the case, then I told her she can go ahead and invite them and have them here, and just stuff like that. Like, I don't know, y'all. I've been in my house 3 years, so I'd be trying to create my own memories in my house, things like that. And I think a lot of people don't always respect that or understand that. Like, I just bought this home, so therefore, I want to have memories with my children in my home. And then on top of that, I'm talking about possibly moving for top of the year. So, yeah, I don't know. It's not anything to deal with her. It's more so just with me and how I envisioned my holiday being. And it's not to say that I don't love my extended family, because see, a lot of people get this misconstrued. If you own kids or if you're married, that is now your intermediate family. Your parents, aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, cousins, all that then becomes extended. If you are an unmarried person with no children, then immediate family is mom, dad, and your siblings, right? Grandparents, right? And then extended would then be your cousins, aunts, and uncles. So a lot of people gets this misconstrued. Like, I have my own family and I just want to enjoy my holiday. Now, with that being said, I got my friend, my Butterscotch and I have mutual friends. And although it's not anything planned with them, I just feel like the bastards is going to be trying to plan something together. And I just don't. When I cook my food, I'm going to cook my food for my house and the people in my house. Period. Now, if y'all want to exchange plates, we can. But as far as like that cooking process, it is kind of like my norm. I wake up, I start prepping the night before with like my maybe my pies, my cakes, things like that, like little small things. I might even do my dressing the night before. But the day of, I get up at like 5 in the morning. I do my turkey, I do my ham, I do my goose. I used to eat chitlins as a child. I don't really do that. Speaking of chitlins, I made hog head cheese. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all my hog head cheese. And that will last in the ice box for about 14 days. So I have a pan here, which I need to cut up these green onions and put. So this pan is not cut up yet. You flip it upside down and do it. But if you don't know what hog head cheese is, baby, let me tell you. I already cut this one up. It is so good. You just take the head of the hog and you process, you cook it down, do all that meat real good, season it to how you like it, test it out while you doing it, right? And then you are going to put it into bread pans or some type of pan or whatever, and you're gonna refrigerate it overnight. And after you refrigerate it overnight, you pull it out the next day, and it's not an actual cheese. It's kind of like when making cheese, how cheese has to solidify. So that's why we call it hog head cheese. Some people call it sauce meat. The majority of South Louisiana calls it hog head cheese. See, this is why I be telling y'all it's a difference between North Louisiana and South Louisiana, because we call it hog head cheese. Just like we don't call it Cajun rice or dirty rice. Is rice dressing. So it just really depends on where you from. I represent for our 337 people, because our 337 people area code in Louisiana, baby, we can cook, okay? So basically, I'm not making no chitlins. I do like tripe. I wouldn't mind fixing some tripe and eating tripe too. But usually for Thanksgiving, A meal that we would do would be a turkey, a ham. You're gonna have cornbread dressing, rice dressing. Some people that eat cranberry sauce, they'll have cranberry sauce out on the table. String bean casserole, broccoli casserole. You're gonna have a pan of fried fish. What else we usually have? I already said the stuffings, right? Oh, I have a mac and cheese casserole or macaroni and cheese, however you want to do it. We do sweet potatoes, still in the hull, and then we also do yams side of the hull, which is just the sweet potato taken out. And pies, we're gonna have like a pecan pie. You're gonna have a buttermilk pie. You're gonna have cakes, lots and lots of pound cakes. That's pretty much how it go. We'll also throw in a goose. And if somebody slaughtered a hog, you're going to have a wild hog, which my neighbor slaughtered. Well, he hunted the hog. And we came together and we cleaned it, did everything. That's how I got the hog head cheese. And so the hog is actually in my deep freezer, already cleaned, ready to go. I'm probably, when he thaw it out, I'm probably just going to shave it down to make sure there is no hair. Well, actually, he skinned that hog, so we ain't even got to worry. She ready to go. And I will have some of that in the vlog. I be trying not to country y'all out too much, but you'll see some of that in the upcoming vlogs. What did you say, Antoinette? Me and my sis would normally for the family, but not this year. Taking a break. We are going out to eat at a steakhouse. That sounds good. That's one thing I've never done for a holiday was went eat on the actual holiday. But I'm not a big go out to eat person. You'll rarely see me go out to eat because I cook, right? So yes, girl, whatever protects your peace and gives you where you good, you good. So that's pretty much like my Thanksgiving plans wrapped up in one. We are really like, I guess it's a soft tentative that we're going to be home for Thanksgiving. That's what it's looking like. So outside of going get them and taking them back to school, I don't think we're going to hit the road to go to Memphis. He's from Memphis and we have yet to home for a holiday in the almost 4 years me and him have been dating to be with his family for the holidays, right? We've typically either been with my family or this year will be our first year just being with ourselves and not being nobody's family, I guess, if that makes sense. So yeah, if y'all can take anything away from that part of what I'm talking about, what I will say is, try not to lead in your emotions, because if I'd have led in my emotions, I probably wouldn't even let my mom in my house, right? Because one, I don't do pop-ups, and because two, I haven't talked to her. But sometimes it's good to soften your heart. And even though we didn't really have like an in-depth conversation, what can I say? I will say that there's definitely an effort there. Like my mom bought me flowers and I really wasn't looking for an apology. And if you know anything about my mama, baby, my mama is not going to apologize. My mama going to apologize, but it's going to be tied to something. It's like I apologize, but I felt this way, or I apologize, but it's one of them type apologies. She apologized with like no but, ands, and ifs to it. So I just felt like that was really big of her. I was proud of her for that, because a lot of times I feel like with parents, especially older parents, and I'm talking about your parents that's born in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and them generations of parents, they don't apologize. They apologize with their actions, not with their words. Like if you want to say with actions, do my mama apologize? Yes. My mama pop up on you and just act like shit is normal and do stuff whenever it's something y'all probably had a thing out. But to see her at a point in life where she, understood like it's important to verbally say it too. I was very appreciative of that. Now, I still don't want to do anything with like extended family for the holiday. I just want to, I just don't. So, unfortunately, I told her, I was like, well, Ma, maybe you do something with Renee or check with Booby or, something like that. But for us, we plan to spend it like this. So I'm sharing all that because it's not y'all know I'm super private. So it's not to be like an overshare or anything. I'm just sharing this on my heart because I feel like somebody else is dealing with the same thing or worse. And I don't know when people gonna watch this live stream, or if they gonna, I don't know. But I do believe that God does things to where people find what it is they need in the frame that they need it. So I'm hoping that me being open about stuff that a lot of times as families we try to hide or not discuss, or baby, it's a few things we will hide as family. We will hide when people have been molested. We will hide if people got mental health issues, and we will hide the family drama. That's all I'm saying. Them three for sure. You gonna know it's gonna be hid and it's not gonna be talked about. And I feel like if a lot of people would just kind of scratch the surface on some stuff, sometimes maybe people wouldn't feel the way they feel in situations. Or maybe you could say, you know what, I had somebody discuss this, and I can relate to that, because I know for me, y'all, my mama, she demand respect, but she still want to treat you like you in elementary, baby. She don't even you ain't even on the high school level to her, baby. You elementary with her, okay? And she gonna feel she can say and do whatever she want, and rightfully, because she's our mom. But in that same breath, I'm gonna say rightfully so, you have to respect that we're all adults. We are all on our own. And although we are your children and will forever be your children, I am a grown woman. My sister is a grown woman. My brother is a grown man. It is respect goes both ways. Now, I'm not saying like my mama out there just blatantly being disrespectful, but I think a lot of times in her head, it's your mama, so I can say whatever I want. No, you can't. No, no, your opinion is not necessary. I welcome it because we all opinion, but your opinion is not necessary. So, in that aspect of things, I feel like that's where that comes into play. So, what else? So Sydney dislocated her shoulder. We still don't really, when she was little, I don't know if you remember this or not, but when she was younger, like kindergarten, first grade, her knee used to pop out of socket. So she had to go to physical stuff. And they said that because she was super flexible, super thin, stuff like that, that she would probably encounter this for life, where her knees, anywhere where it's a joint, it could disconnect just for no reason. It could just pop out of socket. So we've gone all this time with nothing. They did tell us at the time that it could also happen in her shoulder. And if it happened, that was going to be the most painful place it would happen. Child, was it Thursday? Yeah, it's Thursday. Thursday is when it happened. School pulled up at the house, baby, because I work in the school district. They couldn't get me on the phone. So they pulled up at the house and they told me what had happened and how they had rushed her to the ER. So I drive up to her. I told my mom to come here because Butterscotch was still at work and she's going to have to basically let him in. And that I had, just for her to come so she can tend to the dogs, tend to things. Hey, William, I love you too. And so basically, I get there, baby, my child's shoulder just out. And so of course she was in pain. So I talked to the principal. The principal was like, she was sitting in English. Somebody asked her a question and she just said, I don't know. And when she said, I don't know, the shoulder a child dislocated, just popped out. So she in a whole sling, still having pain, like nothing was broken. They got it back in. So she's been doing like over there Tylenol and then Motrin just for pain, stuff like that. And so yesterday was the first day. Well, I shouldn't say the first day she had swelling, because of course you have swelling. Her swelling is like coming and going, coming and going. So I'm going to make her a doctor's appointment today, because I feel like maybe she has a torn ligament. Or even though they said that when they x-rayed her, they didn't feel like any of that was there, I'm going to still take her to her doctor so that they can do it. But she's going to have to go through physical therapy for that, because they put her through physical therapy for when it happened with her leg. I know they're going to make her go through physical therapy. And in that way, her PCP can let know how long they want her in the sling. Because I know with her leg, she had to stay off the knee for about a week and a half, was on temporary crutches and soft cast. She's not in like a hard cast or anything. They just have her in like a little arm sling to take the weight off of her shoulder, naturally from gravity. So it's just to kind of relax it some. But she's still complaining about that. She's complaining about it being in pain and swelling. So I gave her some medicine this morning, because she can't just keep, missing school. So I gave her some medicine this morning and hopefully, it helped better, especially since she, her little time and all that started. Maybe now with the Midol and the combination of that, it'll kind of give her, because Midol you could take for body cramps, or you could take for pain. So hopefully, I'm hoping that that kind of like helps her in the thing. Internet says same. This would be the first. It feels good to not have to worry about making the meal. Oh yeah, it surely do. Cause I think like that's where I'm at. I'm usually always the one that's hosting. Like usually I'm always the one that's hosting and cooking. Y'all, my hair looking. I think it's because of my robe. Cause my hair not, my hair fine, but and the angle and the yeah, child. Um, So it feels good to not have to host. Now, granted, I'm still cooking because I have to cook for my children because they Robin already like, I need you to throw down, bust down. I'm like, y'all, y'all at the age now, y'all should be making the Thanksgiving meal for mommy. Tony, when we had this discussion, she's like, oh, if that's the thing I'm gonna cook is rice dressing because that's all I care to eat is that and the turkey. Like, so you the person who house we go to and you only gonna do two things, girl. That's a no. I know. I'm hoping she feel better too, Antoinette, because child, I couldn't even like I've been double jointed all my life, but I've never had a joint pop out of socket. I've had my one knee crushed and the other one broken, but I've never had, and that was because I got pinned between a hand and a Monte Carlo. Like I got hit, but I've never had. I broke my arm when we were in Jamaica. I still have that vlog up if y'all ever go and look. It's when I took my kids to Jamaica. We were there and I was there a whole week and my arm was broke. Flew home with the arm broken. It was broken two places. It broken here and here. So that's why now to this day, I really like I can do push-ups, but not like that. I have to get to my knees and I can't much because even though it healed properly and all of it's still, once you break something it never is 100% after that, and so I still can feel that from time to time. I could not imagine child just saying I don't know and your child. I feel so bad for my baby because she is a naturally thin girl. She's only probably about 125 pounds and she's a petite, she's curvy for her little size, but she's petite. Like my weight go up and down, and so I see two of my kids already because two of them were naturally small, and then like Tony's starting to gain some weight. So she got my gene. Robin definitely got my gene because she just like me, baby. We can't eat, drink anything that stomach gonna be on balloon. So you gotta, if you out and about, yeah, I can eat, but I ain't gonna drink nothing. But if I'm in the house, then it's just like, okay, I went and got me some swimsuits from Shein, right? And I'm up that up for y'all because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do me a trip. I'm gonna do all this, but let me go ahead and start looking for stuff now before it's because right now it's not considered like swimsuit season. I'll see what I can find now, and then by the time it comes, I hopefully won't have the same swimsuits as everybody else or whatever. Plus, if the pricing was just too good to pass, so I'm gonna do that. But y'all, it's gonna be after I ain't drunk nothing, cause but y'all ain't gonna is have me up there looking crazy. But I hope she feel better because she morning and I had to give her a little stuff and we said our little prayers and then she went on to school and stuff like that. So if y'all haven't already, don't forget though, like the live, especially if you're watching, share it with somebody that you know is just real talking conversations and shit like that because maybe that's what we do, okay? What else? So I caught y'all up on Sydney, caught y'all up on my mom, talked to y'all kind of about like Thanksgiving and the stress and stuff like that. I am, I don't know if I want to, okay, look. So February will be 4 years that I've been dating Butter, right? And the thing with that is I met him after I got divorced. Not immediately after because I was divorced almost maybe 8 months before me and him even met. I'd say yeah, because we got divorced like the divorce was final. I want to say like May of that year, May or June. Was it April? Between the months from April to June, the divorce final. Okay. Then I lost my mom that October. I met him in that February. So, child, after being divorced, is different. That's a different beast. That's a different beast because I'm in a mindset of which I always carry myself that way because I know my callings over my life. It's not because I know my worth or nothing like that. I just things God has called me to do my talents, my things, playing piano, singing. I don't really sing that much anymore because after having so many surgeries, like and I ain't talking about body surgeries, but just surgeries where they put a tube down your throat. It does mess up like your vocal cords and stuff. But that doing hair, just man, God don't call it to be a mom. He don't call everybody to be a wife, right? That's not everybody's assignment in life. But if it's your assignment, then you know for sure it's your assignment. So saying that to say it's different dating after being married because I don't know. I don't just be out there. I've always been a person that's like a relationship type person. So what I still make compromises, right? Like you have to take if you what I would say is if you are struggling with a decision in your relationship, like for me, I'm a just as an example. A lot of his friends will say, "Oh, your husband," or "Oh, your wife," and I correct them because I'm like, "Look, I don't play husband and wife. We not married." Then on top of that, with the Texas, and although he is not like that, don't be sitting up there calling me somebody, baby. If you don't see it, and this is no shot to nobody. This is me. I'm not the woman that would walk around with no wedding ring, no engagement ring, and I ain't the woman that would have a husband walking around without a wedding ring, right? I'm also not the type of person that be, oh, this is my cousin, this is my friend. I wasn't raised like that. And nigga, if you ain't related to me, you ain't related to me. So, I don't that, right? In Louisiana, we call everybody Bay and Boo and baby, right? That's what we say. So that's how we talk. Sometimes you'll hear Akuyan, it just means cousin, that's Creole, for that, stuff like that. But usually we say that when it's our actual cousins, your Maran, your Paran, that's your grand, stuff like that. So I don't like it. And this is my thing. I've told them a many a times, like, hey, don't do that. I don't like that, and these are my reasons I don't like that. And I've also explained to him, like, babe, it ain't nothing towards you. It's just, that's my morals and my standards. So he understand and he get it because that's not how he is either. But these, it always be the ones that's supposed to be your friends that are, and male friends are really like try to push the issue. It's usually them. So anyways, I do know that he desires marriage. Like I go back and forth on it because I feel like child and did it. And I'll say like this, it's not, I always understood the institution of marriage. Never really wanted a divorce. I never really thought my marriage would fail. And then I wound up being remarried. So I was married twice. And so both times I knew, honestly, I shouldn't have gone into those marriages. But it is the first one we were young. We had 3 kids together. Second one, it was just kind of like, I don't necessarily want to just say a rebound, but I did kind of after. And I think people would look at it like that, but I'm going to tell it to you like this for me. Typically, when I'm done with somebody, if I go ahead and I say, hey, I've already been distancing myself, I've already kind of cut off. So in my mind, I'm already gone. It is not really a reason if we break up that if I meet somebody that I would see of interest, I need to be waiting because it's, oh, I'm trying to heal. I like, no, like I believe I healed when I healed and that was that. But that's me. That's I move. Now I don't just jump from relationship to relationship. But what I'm saying is like, say if me and Butterscotch broke up today, right? Then I'm already in of like, okay, we broke up. It is what it is. I take it for what it was. I'm not in the thing like, oh my God, I got to get over him and crying. And so I'd be hurt. I think that's normal, like for people to be hurt. But I'm not I push forward because I believe that everything happens for a reason. I don't believe in spinning the block. I believe everything happens for a reason. So for me, in my mindset, I'm just like, okay, God, I know you got me. I'm covered under the blood, things like this. And so I move forward. So therefore, if I were to meet somebody and that person wanted a number or something like that, and I felt I wanted to get my number out, it would be nothing, because I never understood that. Why would you not? If you meet somebody in number, why wouldn't you give them your number? Because you talking about, oh, I just came out of a relationship. Unless you were in something like a domestic abuse relationship or something like that, why are you still? I feel like when people do that, it's because they want to go back to the person, or they want to miss it. Because if you're going to move on and look forward, you can't be move forward and still holding on to your past. I guess, if that makes sense for y'all, but that's just me. So I don't know. With us coming up 4 years, I never look at it like years should determine if you marry somebody or things like this. But I will say I am grateful. Now, is he perfect? Hell no. Hell no, child. Because I will, me and him will, like he like to joke, and I'm kind of like a real serious person. So right there, sometimes we clash because, his lingo and how he talk, child, is not my cup of tea. But I will say overall, he is a good, that's a good man, Savannah. Okay. Not like how Whitney Houston in the movie, when her mom was like, "That's a good man, Savannah." She was telling her that, and Kenneth really was a good man, but no, Butterscotch, he's a good person. So let me see what y'all saying in the comments. You said, would I remarry? I would remarry, but I would definitely, going through marriage at this point in my life, I'm not in a rush to go remarry, and it just have to be, everything would just have to line up in everything. I think right now where I'm at is just my focus is on trying to get my kids through college, dealing with my baby that's still in the house. That's kind of like my main focus. Managing my rental property, and just trying to figure out my move, right? Because I know I don't want to continue to live in Texas, and where I kind of want to go a little bit further for my kids. So I'm really just trying to figure out. I feel like I'm at a point where I'm kind of compromising on where I want to move because of my right and stuff like that. So those have been my focus. Don't get me wrong, me and him have talked about it and stuff like that a trillion times. So, but I think my focus right now is more so my children, getting them through college, because I think when only will be done in 2 years, Robin in 3. Then it's a 2 age gap between Sydney and Robin. But Sydney she's saying she thinks she wants to go to a trade school instead of college. So whatever the case, that's kind of where I'm at. But I know be 50. Wow, that seems so far away. Well before I'd be 50, all 3 of my kids would be done with school. So my focus is on helping and making sure like they're set up in life to do the things they would desire to do, and just being that support system, because their dad and I are divorced. So I want to make sure that, I'm available to them, because life isn't promised. I want to make sure that I have them set up and in the right position, because I feel like a lot of times when we leave for college, the parents just be like, okay, you on your own, you 18, and it's just like, what? That's crazy. But child could go into that and just have a whole nother thing. But I'm grateful that he gives me the grace in that area, and he's not like trying to be super pushy or I think it helps because he sees the day to day. So he knows I don't have to explain to him like, beta, it's like, he right in the nick of it with me. Because he has 2 kids as well. So we're right in the nick of it together, doing the same things together. So I definitely do appreciate that, because I feel like a lot of times in relationships, I think in a relationship you have to compromise, but I think a lot of times as women, we completely lose ourselves in a relationship or a marriage or whatever because of love, right? The way God has built, we are helpers and helpmates, and we have loving and kindred spirits. So a lot of times because of that, we'll put other people before ourselves, from every single thing. And sometimes it's good to have somebody the same way, in the same way about you, because it makes you more appreciative, because a lot of times we holler the men can't communicate, they can't communicate, they can't communicate, but when people love you, baby, loves you and they truly love you, they will find a way to communicate with you, and to what you said, right? I never want to lose myself again. Correct. They'll find a way to communicate with you to where you don't feel like you're not heard, because a lot of times that's why people argue. You arguing because y'all are both in a situation and nobody's listening. So the argument comes in because you're offensive, because you feel that person don't hear you or is not listening, or you feel wronged. And so I'm not saying Butterscotch and I don't ever argue. I think everybody argues. I think that's healthy. Like, I literally had to tell my mom when she was just here, because I was telling her something along the lines. I forgot. She was bringing up how in her short stay between my sister and I, she feels like God showed her whatever or whatever. And I said, Ma, that's not true. I said, because the whole time you were here, the week she was here, I didn't pick up a sub job at all. I didn't even edit or film when she was here at all. I couldn't get into my mojo with her being in here, because it was kind of like a distraction, kind of, because she was, you just want to make people comfortable and you don't want to be rude. And then I didn't want to leave her in the house all day by herself if I had a sub job. So like I used myself as the example to say, if that was the case, you would think that only Butterscotch works and I don't work at all. And I was like, and that's not the case. I said, but just because you saw that in a week and that was the on a week, that doesn't mean. Does that make sense? I hope what I'm saying is making sense to y'all. So no, I just feel like you should lose yourself. I don't ever feel like I lost myself in either one of my marriages. But what I will say is, in my first marriage, I compromised horribly. He didn't really want me to work. I closed down my shop, went from working and making income and basically being an at-home mom, just because that's what he wanted. And baby, when that started going left, not because I didn't enjoy being home with my kids, me, is I can't do the whole, well, I pay all the bills, so what I say go, and this, like, I will submit, but I have to submit to being submissive to God. And it's not a dictatorship, right? You ask me to do something, we're doing that because it's going to be beneficial to both of us. Okay, well, we'll take this out the equation. I'll do this, you do that, and then everything and multiply it for us, which is what I did. I was big on saving, really wasn't. So, I think like I compromised myself as soon as I realized like I wasn't, happy with self. I went and got me a salon, and and I began to be happy, and I'm glad that because when he became unemployed due to, not from them firing him, it was just due to them shutting down the whole business where he was. We had a saving all back on from me saving. And on top of that, I had income coming in. Now, every man can't deal with the fact that you have income and they don't, right? So, like, a lot of people think in marriage is always a divorce because somebody cheated, is being abusive. But a lot of times there are other things that can lead up to divorce, from y'all arguing about finances, or have different views on how you raise a child or how to run a home. If y'all what else can I say? Sometimes grief. If one person loses somebody really close to them, these things can affect. If a person becomes unemployed, you be surprised. A motherfucker be real happy while they're employed, and as soon as they become unemployed, you dealing with a whole different beast. Sicknesses, illnesses, number one factor in a lot of divorces, because one person gets ill and then their attitude is so dogmatic, or they don't want you to help them, or things like this, and those cause strain on a marriage. So if y'all don't align from the start what it is y'all need, you won't have that to sustain. That's why when I see some people talking about, oh, I'm marry him because he got that good, what, baby, that ain't gonna keep nothing going once y'all start really getting into the throes of marriage. Like, I don't think a lot of people understand, when you see people like my grandparents that have married 60 plus years. My parents, even though they may be in a little rough patch right now, they've been married 40 something years. That don't come because every day was, gumdrops and lollipops. It's not you'd be surprised that people go through these things, but they don't. Me personally, I knew better before I went into them situations, but that's where I take ownership and be like, okay, that was my lesson. That's what I had to learn. So I don't know. I would just say, like, don't lose. Compromise healthy. Don't compromise and put yourself at a disaccord, right? You can compromise healthy in a relationship. That's what I was really getting to, because I think that's one thing he and I do very well when, in a relationship. Um, Even if he doesn't in the moment immediately, he will come back and communicate. It may be later that day. It could be once we lay down before we go to bed. Those are things like that I really do admire about him. Right now, he's still a man, child. He's still a man. And they know how to push a button in hers, and I'm zero tolerance for a lot of stuff. So I real anal on some things too. So I feel like that's where we kind of complement each other, because he'll keep going until I kind of down a little bit. And if he know like I'm really, really serious, then he just give me my space. Everybody in the house know, give me 15 minutes. And then after them 15 minutes, baby, I'll be cool. But you mess with me in them 15 minutes, baby, it's Hurricane Raven, okay? Cayenne pepper on your ass. But that's just me. Now, am I saying that's why I say I'm only 8% perfect. I can't give you 100%, y'all. I cuss, and I can be a little, a little spicy at times, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Uh, so okay, I was telling y'all, I don't know. Top of the year, I know I want to move. I really am. North Texas, I'm not really a fan of. Um, Houston is familiar, even though I've never lived in Houston. I've been in many a times, but Houston put me in the center of like certain family members, and so that's something I'm still praying on. Where I want to go, where I want to move to, is a completely different state. So I don't really want to say it just yet. I've said it before on the channel. I kind of want it to be somewhat of a surprise, because I'm really, the ink is on the paper, child. If I send that paper in, then that ink gonna dry on that paper. That's gonna be the move. And I think for me, being a creature of habit is always, not that I'm in my head about stuff, but I'm gonna think about every single thing before I because I honestly was like, you know what, I'm gonna stay in this home. I'll move into my rental property and I'm gonna rent them for a year. Then I'm gonna sell it, right? Because it's just easy for me to even capitalize off of making even more money. But I still have tenants in there, and I really don't want to have to evict them. The first set of tenants that I've had that is kind of some issues and stuff, like payment issues, different little issues. And so the business in me is like, go ahead and evict their ass. But the heart of me is just like, I'm really, I'm just trying to grace in the situation a little bit. Because if they weren't in the home right now, I would probably go into that home and go ahead and set this one up and rent it for a year, and then turn around and sell it. So I don't know. I guess when I'm looking at, oh, should I just sell? I look at like, I think of the stuff that people don't think about. Like, I know about 40K gonna come out of the price of the sale to go to taxes, realtors, and all the fees that come with selling. So I feel like me renting for a year kind of offsets that, because I would make more than that from renting this house. And so I wouldn't really be affected by that when I would sell, right? And I have the luxury to do that because I own my home. That's not a flex or anything, but I don't have a mortgage on my home, right? So I really have, especially with Trump now in office and, all these different things, I really do. I just feel like it puts me kind of in a comfortable place. And I'm grateful to God for that, because it took me a very long time to save up. And then also in my mom's passing, she left me stuff too, helped add to the things that I had already been saving and doing. And so it just really, it made sense at that time to be like, okay, because actually after I still rented for about a year. And the crazy thing is, like, this is not my first home. This is my second home. So I was comfortable with renting because I felt like I really don't want to be in Texas. And I feel like when you buy a house, you are stationary, you are. So for me, it's just like knowing I don't want to be in the Dallas Fort Worth area. Um, I go back and I kind of beat myself up because it's like if I would still be renting, I wouldn't even have to worry about, it's pros and cons to it. Yeah. Or like so right now, even if I were to stay here another year with Sydney, I probably would still sell this one or rent this one out, and I would go rent for the time they would take for her to graduate. If I move somewhere else, especially to where I want to go to, I would for a year before I would even look into buying, just to kind of give myself more familiarity with the area and stuff like that. So, West Coast, East Coast, I guess it would kind of be considered West Coast. It's more kind of like if this the West Coast, we kind of like here, right? We're not as far as Texas, but we kind of like in that region. I'll say that. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's why I was tell y'all pray for me. I pray for y'all because we in that era of stuff right now. Um, and the offer that I have is a pretty good offer. It's just I'm trying to figure, like, I don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to come off like that. I get offers all the time, right? So I know that when I bought this property, it was a good investment property. It would be a good home. It would be a lot of things. But it's so crazy because my kids, as much as they love this house, the house that I was renting way more before this, and that house is half the square foot as this one, but they liked that house more. And for me, I like that house like that. I just didn't like the location of it. I have an issue with the house. I didn't like the location that we were right. Because I guess because of where I'm at, the outskirt I'm in, we done been here since in 12. So I was used to this particular area. Okay, now I'm kind of like in between the two areas. So it's just, I don't know. Just I guess it all comes down to preference, stuff like that. But yeah, y'all, that's what I'm considering. So if I do that, I will post it on the channel. Y'all will see me sign the house and sell the house and do all that stuff. I would, show you where I'd move to, where I'd go, what I would do. I don't know if I would redecorate or because like in my spirit, I feel like a lot of stuff I would want to gift and give away. Like Special Olympics take stuff, Women's Shelter takes stuff, Salvation Army takes stuff, right? I would probably donate. I would keep certain items, but the rest of my furniture and stuff, I would donate, right? I would just get new stuff. I don't know. I just like it. It would definitely be a change. I'll say that it would definitely be a change. Like I would definitely keep my china cabinet. I would definitely keep this bookshelf that's right here. I want to sand it down and paint it a different color, and I would definitely keep my grandfather clock. And I would keep one of my bed sets. Everything else, I feel like I would probably donate. I would bless somebody. That's how I feel about it because I feel like it's just on my spirit to do, and then not looking for a blessing in return. But I don't know, y'all. That's just how I like to help people. I really do. I truly, 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 truly do like to help people. So finances, mental, correct. So, I'm about to get ready to, I guess, go do a little makeup, child, so that I can film while the house is quiet too. I'm gonna go and film, and knock out everything I gotta film, and then I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna dedicate today to editing, which was another reason I wanted to come live because Tuesdays and Fridays are my scheduled load days, but I'm not gonna upload anything today. I don't know if I do, it'll be a late load, but I wanted to at least come on and do a live because I usually always do lives, and I hadn't been live in a little minute. Like I said, my mom was here for a week, so I haven't been live in a little minute, and I want to come on, show my face, talk with y'all, little stuff like that, let y'all, just know what's going on. Because at the end of the day, we're here, right? My favorite cousin, my friend, my Beaudae. So I'm gonna get off. I hope that y'all enjoy. What's today? Tuesday. Enjoy your Tuesday. I'm gonna go and clean my kitchen, film, edit, wash some clothes, you know, little stuff like that. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next live stream or the next video, whichever the case. And be sure that, you know, y'all go and watch, support some of the playlists, whatever the case. Like, share, because a lot of people watch YouTube. So if you know somebody that likes this type of, just share it. If they want to subscribe, they can. If they don't, it's all cool. All right. Love y'all. Enjoy y'all day. I love y'all so much. Please, please enjoy your day.